Have you ever wondered why some people enter their 60s with a deep sense of calm, while others stay awake at night, fearing the next price hike at the grocery store? It is not just about having a little more in the bank or a slightly better car in the driveway. It is about an invisible threshold where the very nature of money changes from something you chase into something that protects you. We are living in the year 2026, and the financial reality around us has shifted in ways most people are still struggling to understand. A cup of coffee that used to cost $3 is now nearly double that, and the dream of a simple retirement seems to be slipping through the fingers of the average worker. But there is a specific milestone that changes everything about how you experience this new world. I am talking about the moment your invested assets hit $1 million. Not your home equity, not your car, and not the total value of your possessions. When you reach this point, you are no longer just a person with a job. You become the owner of a financial fortress. This fortress provides a level of psychological security that no paycheck can ever match. Before we dive deep into why this specific number is the ultimate shield for your family in 2026, I want to ask you a favor. If you find this perspective helpful for your future, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps us share these vital financial truths with more people who need to hear them. Also, please leave a comment below and tell me what your personal goal for financial peace is. Now, let us look at the reality of the situation we are facing today in this modern economic landscape. According to the latest data from the Federal Reserve, the typical household approaching retirement in 2026 has saved roughly $200,000. On the surface, $200,000 sounds like a respectable amount of money, but when you subject that number to the cold reality of today's economy, the picture becomes quite alarming. If you follow a safe withdrawal strategy, that $200,000 only provides about $8,000 of annual income. Even when you add Social Security, most people find themselves living on the edge of a financial cliff. In this high-cost environment, one medical emergency or a spike in inflation can wipe out decades of careful saving in a matter of months. This is why the $1 million mark is so fundamentally different. It is the point where your capital begins to outperform your labor in a significant way. Think about that for a moment. When you have $1 million invested at a conservative return, your money is generating more income than many people earn at a full-time job. And it does this without you having to commute, without a boss, and without the stress of a 40-hour work week. At a 7% annual return, that $1 million generates $70,000 every single year. That is your invisible employee working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. This employee never gets tired, never asks for a raise, and never complains about the workload. But in 2026, we must be even more careful with our math and our expectations. To ensure absolute peace of mind, we often look at the 4% rule as our gold standard. With $1 million, a 4% withdrawal gives you $40,000 a year, while keeping your principal balance relatively safe. When you combine that $40,000 with the average Social Security benefit for a couple, your total household income can reach $80,000 or even $90,000 a year. That is a life of dignity, security, and true options. It means you can afford the best healthcare without checking your bank balance first. It means you can help your grandchildren with their education without worrying about your own grocery bill. Most importantly, it means you have bought back the most precious asset in existence, your time. When you are building toward that first million, Every hour you spend not earning feels like a missed opportunity. You are in the accumulation phase, where your personal effort is the primary engine of your wealth. It is like pushing a heavy boulder up a steep hill. It is slow, it is grueling, and if you stop for even a second, you feel like you might lose all your progress. But once you cross that million-dollar threshold, the boulder reaches the top of the hill and starts to roll down the other side. The momentum of compounding takes over, and the growth becomes exponential. This is why the second million often arrives in less than half the time it took to earn the first million. The gravitational pull of capital is far stronger than the strength of human labor. But reaching this milestone in 2026 requires a complete shift in your psychology. You must stop thinking like a saver and start thinking like a capital owner. A saver is always worried about losing what they have. They keep their money in cash or low-interest accounts because they are afraid of market volatility. But in doing so, they allow the silent thief of inflation to steal their future. A capital owner understands that volatility is simply the price of admission for long-term growth. They do not check their accounts every day to see if they are up or down. They know that as long as they own quality assets, the engine of the global economy will continue to produce value over time. In 2026, we are seeing that healthcare costs for a retired couple have risen to over $350,000. If you only have $200,000 saved, you are essentially one illness away from poverty. But with $1 million invested, that medical bill becomes a manageable expense rather than a life-altering disaster. This is the absolute peace of mind that we are talking about. It is the ability to walk into a hospital or a repair shop and know that the money is already there, waiting to solve the problem. Many people tell themselves that $1 million is an impossible dream. They look at their current savings and feel discouraged by how far they have to go. But the math of compounding is on your side if you remain consistent and patient. Even starting with a small amount in your 30s or 40s can lead to $1 million finish if you stay the course. The biggest mistake people make is giving up right before the momentum starts to kick in. They see their portfolio growing by a few $1,000s a year, and they think it is not working. They do not realize that the seeds they are planting today are growing deep roots that will eventually support a massive tree. As we move further into 2026, the gap between those who own capital and those who only trade their time is widening faster than ever. The world is becoming more expensive and more unpredictable. Having $1 million shield is no longer a luxury. It is becoming a necessity for anyone who wants a secure future. It allows you to look at a market downturn not as a catastrophe, but as an opportunity to buy more assets at a discount. It allows you to negotiate from a position of strength in your career because you do not need the paycheck to survive. You work because you want to, not because you have to. That psychological freedom changes how you interact with everyone around you. You become a better spouse, a better parent, and a better member of your community because you are not operating from a place of scarcity. You are operating from a place of abundance, and that abundance is contagious. When you are secure, you can afford to be generous. You can support the causes you believe in and help the people you love. That is the true legacy of $1 million portfolio. It is not just a number on a screen. It is the foundation for a life well lived. It is the ability to say no to things that do not align with your values and yes to the things that do. In 2026, we also have to consider the changing nature of the workforce. With artificial intelligence and automation accelerating, The value of traditional labor is being challenged. However, the value of capital remains constant. Those who own the machines, the companies, and the real estate are the ones who will thrive in this new era. By reaching the $1 million mark, you have effectively placed yourself on the winning side of this economic transition. You are no longer vulnerable to the shifting tides of the job market. You have built your own private economy that operates independently of the headlines. This independence is what allows you to sleep soundly, even when the world seems to be in chaos. You know that your diversified portfolio is capturing the growth of the most productive organizations on Earth. You are a silent partner in the success of the greatest innovators and leaders of our time. This perspective is what separates the wealthy from the merely well-to-do. It is not about the fancy lifestyle or the expensive watches. It is about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are financially unbreakable. As we approach the end of our discussion today, I want you to take a serious look at your own financial path. Are you building a fortress, or are you just trying to survive the week? The journey to $1 million starts with a single decision to prioritize your future self over temporary desires. It requires the discipline to drive the older car, to live in the modest home, and to keep investing even when the news headlines are scary. But I promise you, the moment you see your investments generating more than your job, every sacrifice will feel worth it. If you have enjoyed this deep dive into the reality of wealth in 2026, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to continue creating content that empowers you to take control of your financial destiny. Do not forget to hit the like button if you found value in these insights. We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Are you currently on the path to your first million? Or have you already experienced the peace that comes with crossing that line? Sharing your story can inspire someone else who is just starting their journey. Remember, wealth is not about being better than others. It is about having the freedom to be your best self. $1 million is the threshold where that freedom becomes a permanent reality. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep your eyes on the long-term goal. The peace of mind you are building today will be the greatest gift you ever give yourself and your family. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I look forward to seeing you in our future discussions as we continue to navigate the path to financial independence together. Take care of your future, and your future will take care of you.